I doubt that I have the relationship with any other B-movie genre film that I do with Canon Films' Cyborg. I have literally watched this movie and then watched this movie. I put Cyborg on when I'm cleaning, cooking, doing laundry, or when there's just nothing on. Plain and simple, I don't have to tell you that Cyborg is bad, but it is the highest of the low. Premium rubbish, upscale garbage. We're talking top tier trash. The last film released by Canon Films when they were literally going bankrupt. Cyborg has a big heart, a cool concept, does the best it can with a shoestring budget, and has peak Claude Van Damme. Cyborg stars a silent Claude Van Damme, Lady MacGuffin, this homeless girl, and a bunch of nameless goons wearing leftover costumes from Canon Films' Masters of the Universe movie. Oh, and last but not least, CNC Music Factory on crack. Now, I'm going to apologize in advance because if you've watched my channel at all, you know I hate it when reviewers just tell you what happens, but I'm going to be kind of just telling you what happens in this movie. But don't you dare worry about those spoilers. This film is minimum dialogue, maximum exposition. There is zero mystery. We are told everything. What's the story, you ask? Well, in a dystopian future of matte paintings and miniatures, a mysterious plague has wiped out much of mankind, forcing people to live indoors. I wonder where I've heard that one before. With the population diminished, the surface is now run by pirates, so travelers hire mercenaries called slingers for protection. One woman in need of such protection is a cyborg rumored to be carrying data for a cure.
Thanks. Who are you? I can trust you. They created me to retrieve data from a computer system here in the city.
And when she crosses paths with Van Damme, he soon realizes that they share a common enemy from his past. Despite the busted budget, Cyborg is action-packed with creatively edited fight scenes staged clearer than many modern films today. Apparently, Claude Van Damme is known for kicking down the door to the editing room and remixing his fight scenes like he did supposedly with Hard Target and Bloodsport. Cyborg gives all of that shaky cam and all of them jump cuts a flying spinning back kick to the crotch. Like I said, this is Van Damme at his best. Cyborg is action-packed with minimum dialogue. It's action-packed and it's action-packed. Peak Van Damme is the villain of this thing, and he takes this film,
oh my God,
to 11. He wants to kidnap the Cyborg and hold the Cure for ransom. Hilariously, at least 3 times throughout the movie, he's introduced with the removal of his shades, revealing these crazy steel blue eyes. Despite his minimum dialogue basically being, the dude is committed. The opening voiceover shows us just how despicable and sadistic this guy is. I mean, the dude's motivation is literally trying to just enjoy the apocalypse.
First, there was the collapse of civilization, anarchy, genocide, starvation. Then when it seemed things couldn't get any worse, we got the plague, the living death. And then we heard the rumors that the last scientists were working on a cure that would end the plague and restore the world. Restore it? Why? I like the death. I like the misery. I like this world!
Getting back to the story, the doctors waiting for the data of the cure are all staged in Atlanta. So after bringing the ruckus, the pirates travel by boat to Atlanta, which makes absolutely no sense, with Jean-Claude Van Damme in hot pursuit. After staring at the burning wreck that the pirates left behind, JC sets up his camp, where suddenly this homeless girl shows up looking for something to eat, but all he gives her is a Coke bottle to the grill. She kind of just doesn't leave, so the movie decides to keep her around for no reason.
I'm here to make sure that woman lives.
Okay, whatever. So she's here to make sure that this woman lives. So, without explanation or adding anything to the plot, they team up. She even attempts to pay Van Damme for his protection with a thirst trap. But JC don't simp, so he asks her to kindly put her boobies back in their assigned seats. But Jean-Claude Van Damme eventually catches up to the pirates in this abandoned building, because where else do you film when your production company is going bankrupt? And the film knows that you've got an itch that only Van Damme can scratch when it delivers its longest action sequence that takes place over 3 locations. So after all of that, Jean-Claude Van Damme dies for y'all's sins. then decides, oh no, then he starts having a thirst dream of when he had a girlfriend and a bad haircut. Turns out the girlfriend's sister is all grown up and now the side chick for Evil CNC Music Factory's entire crew. I joke, but it's the only reveal in the movie that isn't full-on exposition, and you can see the director making some serious effort for some passionate storytelling, despite the fact that Cannon Films was falling down around his ears as he was producing this.
It's up to you, honey. If you can hold them, they'll live.
Now we're getting all into the finale. After the third day, Jean-Claude Van Damme rises from the dead and catches up to the pirates for a final showdown. And it's raining on set, so you know it's gonna be intense. And after turning Evil CNC Music Factory's entire crew to lunch meat, it's time for a boss battle. But first, let's just flex. Final verdict. The $100 Cannon Films budget often speaks louder than the film's heart. I mean, they must have paid the entire cast and crew with a pair of Reebok pumps and a set of Star Trek The Next Generation pogs. They gave the cast and crew a Game Genie and tickets to a Kirk Cameron lookalike contest, a TurboGrafx 16, and a Signed Fine Young Cannibals She Drives Me Crazy poster. Even the score of this thing, even though it's well done, you can tell it's just one dude on a keyboard trying to put his kids through college. All of that said, Cyborg is the best of the bad. The editing is kinetic, the compositions are well framed, and the concept is strong. As Walmart as the presentation is, the director's heart is undeniable, and that is something I have to give credit to. Especially considering, one, this movie was made while the company was literally having a heart attack. And two, current Hollywood budgets are skyrocketing past 200 plus mil, and they are empty and soulless. Honestly, as much as I joke, Cyborg is only bad because of its Happy Meal budget and could just as easily be considered a hidden gem. And that's it. That is my review for Cannon Films' Cyborg, starring the one, the only, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Thank you for watching. The channel is Filled for Real. The show is Bootleg Theater, and I hope to see you next time.
Bootleg Theater is brought to you